We are Group 5 and our project is BedManager. Imagine a situation where a person with critical healthcare need is taken to a hospital expecting immediate treatment but being uncatered to despite of all the facilities and resources being available. This can happen due to many reasons, and one of them is definitely poor management of beds, wards, lack of immediate allocation, and not being able to forecast the flow in hospital. This project, BedManager, tries to solve it. Now let's see how this works. We are being logged in into the admin panel. The core role of an admin is to look at the analytics and forecasting and also to assign different credentials to each person and monitor them. In the analytics and forecast page now, we are able to see different filters for all ward types, departments, and the previous selection of 7 to 14 days. It also provides key insights into which ward is having different capacities and immediate admission rates. Total beds, occupancy beds, available beds, and total transfer can be seen. In the occupancy trends over time, on December 2nd, we can see at 2 o'clock occupancy is 4%, and towards the end, at 7 o'clock, occupancy moves to 4.1%. So in each ward utilization, we can see how much each ward is currently utilized, occupied, cleaning, and available. And then we can go towards the bed status distribution. What are the total number of available beds in a systematic, clear pie chart kind of visualization? The total capacity, general, surgical, emergency wards. So hourly occupancy patterns can also be predicted using this. So department occupancy rates, cardiology, pediatrics can be viewed, and detailed occupancy analysis regarding each branch, each ward can also be seen. Ward occupancy heat maps gives us a different heat map like what ward at what time is being occupied, daily trends, weekly trends can also be seen. Towards it, patient flow network from what department to what department are number of being returns being made by what type and all wards can also be the can be analyzed. In the admin panel, as we can see, we are different types of roles are available to look at for different credential analysis, assign credentials and edit credentials. So ward managers, doctors, nurses, each can be given their own credentials and also being edited credentials according to the type of ward they are monitoring. The users who are using the panel or the website at the current point of time are being displayed here. In a ward overview, this is common to all the stakeholders where you can see the total number of beds, available beds and occupied beds according to the what's being allocated. Since this is admin, you can see all the wards of the entire hospital. Patient encounters involves different wards and different statuses. So the different patients and their allocation time, their ward, the type of ward they're allocated to in the department are being shown here. And as an admin, the availability is only to look at the admitted and transfer requested, but not to assign anyone. In patient transfer history, all the patient transfers are being recorded, and an admin can always monitor who are the patients being transferred from an ICU ward to general ward, or an ICU to ICU, or from general to ICU. As we can see, this is feature which is common to all the stakeholders, wherein we are looking at the 3D model of the whole hospital. In this, we can actually navigate to the any ward by selecting it. Simply select it, and this is going to show you. You can also select how to show ward occupancy, and this automatically shows you how much each ward is occupied. View level, ground floor. We can put it to first floor, and first it shows how much occupancy is there in first floor. You can put only ground floor, and shows only ground floor. So if you want to go from one location to another, you can simply click on find path, and this shows you the path. And one more feature here special is you can look at the bed status availability according to each ward after navigating to every ward. Click here and see which patient is in each bed by looking at the status of each bed. This is available and what is the equipment here. Let's look at Anuradha, the ICU manager's core responsibilities and bed manager. Anuradha is only dedicated manager for ICUs. So we have previously looked at analytics and now we are looking at forecasting page. You can always generate forecasts through manual input too. So we are predicting the forecast for 7 days ahead. You can clearly see the hospital-wide demand forecast, which is currently increasing. It is predicted 48.3% December 3rd and to moves towards 52.8% in the next week of December 9th. We can also see the forecast by ward type, which is emergency, general, ICU, and surgical, where we can see a lot of surge in emergency during the next week. Also, individual ward forecast can be seen for even any kind of ward. You can go here and select any kind of ward and predict the forecast for the upcoming week. The core responsible of manager is to give assigned patients, and since now this is an ICU ward manager, I'm assigning it to cardiological emergency. This raises a new request and automatically allocates the bed. So if you go to see the beds, it is automatically being assigned since this is a critical case. I can even update the patient status, held for patient, and sync it. Now it's going to get reflected over here. I can go here. I can put a bed to cleaning. That's it. This is update to cleaning. So even patient encounters, I can see a patient who's in my cardiology ICU wards and request transfer to change them into general wards. In the transfer history, all the people who wants to be transported here into ICU wards can be seen here clearly. Now let's come into the current homepage. Who is the general ward manager? Unlike Anuradha, this guy takes care of the general management of the different wards. So here he can also assign different patient names, and here he is only allocated only to general wards. So since this is general, the rise is not an alert. Submit normal request, submit emergency request. I'm submitting normal request, which will not trigger an alert. So here I can see an admission alert and a ping sound, which is visible and audible in the backside. So I can approve it, and he's already approved to the nearest bed. So I can go here, I can go to the beds and check its availability, update the status, and same like Anuradha's. The wards, it is also automatically getting reflected. I can change the availability to reserve. The same as him, as a person who has been transferred from Anuradha's ICU to here, from ICU ward to general ward, since an ICU ward cannot directly deploy a patient directly outwards, the sent is to cardio general ward. So I can approve the bed and automatically recommends the bed according to the algorithm. And I can select it, go ahead and approve and assign the bed. Approved successfully. Now let's look at the final stakeholder, which is nurse. The nurse's intuitive system is very simple, and the nurse can look at only the patient encounters in different wards and statuses, and only to the wards which he or she or they are allocated to. And transfer history of all the patients, their statuses of the patients, the wards they are allocated to, and 3D models. So this is how BedManager integrates real-time dashboards, intelligent allocation, alert system, and predictive forecasting to reduce admission delays, increase bed utilization with low cognitive load, and impact the future. Thank you.